Welcome to Business Edge Radio, the show that gives you tips, tricks, tools, and techniques about how to build a more profitable business, while at the same time creating your perfect lifestyle. It's a show about working less and living more. A few golden nuggets, a little bit of wisdom, and over 35 years of business experience to help you keep your edge. Lifestyle entrepreneur, best-selling author, internationally renowned business speaker, and daddy of three, Mitch Graff brings the heat with actionable techniques for building the business and lifestyle of your dreams. Now your host, Mitch Graff.
Ho, 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 and Merry Christmas from all of us here at Business Edge Radio and the Business Edge Minute. I thought I would stop by the studios before things got a little bit crazy with the Christmas season upon us and wish you all a very merry holiday season. We have a very special show for you today. Your wonderful host, Mitch Graff, has a few surprises up his sleeve for the last episode before the end of the year. And I can't believe he's on my good list this year, which I'm happy to see since he's typically on the naughty list. Oh boy, I could go on for hours and hours with stories about his naughtiness and the... Oh no, I don't mean to bore you with such stories. Anyways, I hope each and every one of you has a healthy, safe, and wonderful Christmas. I have a funny feeling that despite everything that is going on right now, this Christmas is going to be your best ever. Merry Christmas, everyone, and now let's get ready to rock.
How cool is that? Santa himself stopping by the studio to wish y'all a Merry Christmas. Hello there once again, my Unleashed tribe, and welcome to this very special edition of Business Edge Radio, the ultimate brainstorming session for your business and your life. This is our Christmas Extravaganza show, jam-packed with fun stuff that I can't wait to get into. I have a fantastic list of last-minute gift ideas for those procrastinators out there. Some great and some a little on the weird side. We talk about some Christmas traditions from all around the world. I interview America's most likable mayor, Cathy Clark, from the town of Keizer, Oregon. And I got a Christmas quiz for you that if you answer all the questions, you get $1 million. So make sure you stick around until the end for that. Well, folks, we've made it to the end of 2020. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of my family. I'm proud of our communities. I'm proud of our country. Can you believe that we made it? We did it. We've had to deal with COVID-19 for nearly the entire year. There's been lots of civil unrest around the world. We're living through perhaps the most interesting election and post-election cycle that we've ever had. Our kids, and many of us as well, have been sequestered at home for the past 9 months because of stay-at-home directives and because we've been temporarily laid off. We even learned that the government has had encounters with UFOs. We've had to contend with the murder hornets that have now invaded our shores. And many of us have probably put on a couple of pounds because we've been snacking a little too much. December is also a time for businesses to review the year that was. What went well, what didn't, and then make plans for the new year that is almost upon us. But even this task is nearly impossible because many businesses have been devastated to the point that they've had to either close down permanently or at the very least are operating on 2 cylinders with an 8-cylinder engine. A difficult challenge indeed. Many of us will be home with our families for Christmas, which normally would be great, but we've been with them 24 hours a day for the entire year. Something that we at times take for granted when we're apart is now something that we get nonstop and that we should appreciate. Our normal Christmas routines will have to go on the shelf for a season, right next to the elf on his shelf and Dad's bottle of old scotch. We may not be able to be with Mom or Dad or brothers and sisters or our children or Grandma and Grandpa or dear, dear friends. I know, it's not something that we could have ever imagined a mere 10 months ago. One of the things I do each December is to evaluate each of my businesses with a magnifying glass and create new game plans for each of them for the coming year. I actually have physical pieces of paper with lists on them that have my objectives for each year and my goals, both personally and professionally. I know that many of you do the same thing. If you don't, there's no better time than right now to get started. The things that I didn't accomplish simply will go on to my 2021 goal list. If there are goals that you didn't accomplish, it's not a failure, it's just a temporary hiccup in the road or a hitch in your giddy-up to achieving them. Here's a few things that are on my list that I did not accomplish this year. I set a goal of creating 2 new online courses, but I'm only about 70% of the way there to achieving my goal. I wanted to expand our artisan coffee roasting business and purchase a big, fancy new coffee roaster that could spit out about 500 pounds of fresh roasted coffee a day, but that goal was put on hold. My family planned on taking most of last summer and traveling around the West Coast in our motorhome, but we had to pare our trip down to less than 2 weeks. And we intended to book an additional 150 events for our catering company over and above what we typically book, but fell way short of accomplishing that goal for obvious reasons. But here's what I did accomplish that was on my goal list. I wrote and published 3 books. I went into the studio and recorded an album of songs that I had written that had been gathering dust for most of the last 25 years. I launched this show, Business Edge Radio and the Business Edge Minute. We redid every one of our websites company-wide, totally 9, which is no easy undertaking. And I expanded my garden by about 400%, which really came in handy this year for sure. I want each of you to sit down with a notepad and pen, good cup of coffee, and reflect on how the year went for you, both personally and professionally. Here's a few questions that you can ask yourself that will hopefully get your creative juices percolating. Which of your goals did you accomplish this year? Which ones need to be carried over into 2021? What was the best part of 2020 for you, both personally and professionally? How was your business affected by COVID-19, and what innovations or changes did you need to make in order to stay one step ahead? How has 2020 affected your family? And what strategy do you have for next year for keeping your family energized and motivated to keep pushing forward? What goals do you have for your personal education, personal health, and personal self-improvement for next year? Remember, your goals need to be realistic and attainable and be something that makes you stretch a little bit outside your comfort zone, but not so far out of reach that you set yourself up for failure. This is a project you can do first thing in the morning before the rest of the world starts placing its demands on your time, or if you're a night owl, you can do it late at night when the rest of the household has went to bed. The holidays are a joyous and magical time of year filled with lights and decorations and shopping for kids or that special someone, eating way too much food for the entire month, watching our favorite Christmas movies like It's a Wonderful Life and Christmas Shoes, Elf, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, maybe a little Bad Santa thrown in there for good measure. But I think most importantly, it's an opportunity to give to others that may not be as fortunate as you are. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to necessarily give your money, although money for good causes is always a big need. But sometimes just giving your time can make a huge difference in someone's life. Volunteering at your local soup kitchen, or for your church for their food drive, or maybe something as simple as going to your local retirement center and visiting with people who may not get any visitors at all during the holidays. I understand that this year that idea is not possible, but I want you to think of ways that you can give back to your community in ways that are within your resources, both in time and in money. I also understand that for many, the holidays brings up painful memories of those we have lost. For many this year, we will be without people in our lives that have passed away. I lost my father in April, and he was like my best friend. He never missed a Christmas with my kids, or a first day of school, or a last day of school, a birthday, or any special occasion. He will be sorely missed sitting in our wooden rocking chair in our sitting room, but we have so many wonderful memories that he made for my kids, and that's what I will hold on to. The pain from loss is real, but sometimes that pain can be lessened by the act of giving to somebody else. Here's a question that I want you to ask yourself every day between now and the end of the year. What can I do today to make someone else's life better? Making others happy is one of the best ways to have a great day yourself, and it can brighten the world around you. Here's a few ideas that may spark your creativity, and please note that not every item on this list is appropriate for every person in your life. I trust you to figure out which actions go with which people. So here you go. Smile. Help carry something. Send a thank you email. Call just to see how they're doing. Send flowers. Cook them a nice meal. Tell a joke and laugh your butt off. Clean. Give money. Write a love letter to a loved one. Give them a cherished book. Bake some cookies. Praise them publicly. Thank them for a job well done. Listen. Be there when they're in need. Give a free hug. At least an air hug. Spend time with them. Have fun. Do errands or chores for them. Say, I love you. Be proud of them. Babysit if they need it. House sit if they need it. Create a care package and deliver it to them. Take coffee. List the things you love about them and then send it to them. Secretly leave them thank you notes. Give a back rub when appropriate. Deliver a nice lunch to them when they're having a bad day. And love them completely. Now, it doesn't require a lot to make someone else happy, but it does take you putting someone else's needs before your own. And that is one of the best feelings that you can have this time of year. Making someone's day. Who knows? You might even make their year. What can you do today to make someone else's life better? I want that question to be in the front of your mind while you go through this crazy holiday season, and you will be amazed at what a difference you can make in the world if you just give a little bit extra.
Hi, I'm Colton from Newberg, Oregon, and to me, Christmas is about watching others open gifts that I have made or gotten for them. I think it feels good watching them smile and say thank you.
Hi, my name's Sierra from Silverton, Oregon, and what Christmas means to me is the trees, the presents, and the cocoa. Merry Christmas, everyone!
For many of us, Christmas is all about decorating cookies, seeking out the perfect tree, enjoying time with family and friends, and of course, exchanging gifts. As it turns out, not everyone celebrates holidays the same way that we do. The economics of Christmas is significant because Christmas is typically a peak selling season for retailers in many nations around the world. Sales increase dramatically as people purchase gifts and decorations and supplies to celebrate. In the U.S., the Christmas holiday season, quote-unquote, starts as early as October. And actually, I think this year I saw a few ads even in August. In Canada, merchants begin advertising campaigns just before Halloween and step up their marketing following Remembrance Day, which is on November 11th. In the UK and Ireland, the Christmas shopping season starts from mid-November, around the time when high street Christmas lights are turned on. In the US, it's been calculated that a quarter of all personal spending takes place during the Christmas holiday shopping season. Now, there's a few industries that are completely dependent on the Christmas season, like Christmas cards, of which over 2.5 billion are sent in the United States each year, live Christmas trees, of which over 20 million are cut. And in most Western nations, Christmas Day is the least active day of the year for business and commerce. Almost all retail, commercial, and institutional businesses are closed, and almost all industries cease activity, more than any other day of the year, whether laws require such or not. Every year, on the Saturday before Christmas, the Philippine city of San Fernando hosts the Giant Lantern Festival. Residents from over 11 surrounding villages participate in this fun competition that entails creating elaborate lanterns. Though initially crafted from simple materials such as bamboo, the lanterns have become increasingly larger and more intricate over the years. Many now even incorporate impressive electrical displays. The festival is so popular with both locals and visitors that San Fernando has earned the title Christmas Capital of the country. Since 1996, the Swedish town of Gävle has been celebrating the Christmas season by building a giant straw figure of a goat. While the animal may seem an odd choice, smaller straw goats are popular across the country. According to local folklore, the Yule Goat not only helped deliver presents, but was also Santa's ride of choice. Can you imagine seeing a goat instead of a reindeer in Rudolph? There's an image for you. Strangely enough, the massive figure, which stands 42 feet tall and takes 1,000 man-hours to build, has given rise to another Christmas tradition, one the officials had never envisioned. Locals place bets on how long it will last until New Year's before someone tries to burn it down. In the past 52 years, the Yule Goat has been destroyed 35 times, just days after it was constructed. However, despite the vandalism, the officials have never considered using anything other than straw to build their revered Christmas symbol. Christmas isn't a national holiday in Japan, but that doesn't stop residents from celebrating the day with a special meal from an unexpected place, KFC. The tradition can be traced back to the fast food company's wildly successful 1974 marketing campaign, Kurimarusu ne wa Kentakiki, which means Kentucky for Christmas. Today, millions of Japanese residents flock to the fried chicken chain for a special customer dinner. Many even order their big special bucket, which includes cake and champagne, months in advance to avoid having to wait in lines that can take over 2 hours. Experts say there was no tradition of Christmas in Japan, and so KFC came in and said, "This is what you should do on Christmas." And of course, the fact that it's finger-licking good doesn't hurt either. Children in Italy don't get a visit from Santa Claus. Instead, they look forward to the arrival of La Befana, or the Christmas Witch, on the night of January 5th. Similar to the jolly fellow in red, La Befana enters houses via the chimney and fills stockings with presents and candy for the nice children and coal for the naughty ones. According to the legend, when the 3 wise men were seeking baby Jesus, they met an old woman and asked if she'd like to come along with them. She declined the offer because she wanted to finish cleaning the house. Now, every year, the old lady soars to the skies on her broomstick in the hopes of finding and showering baby Jesus with gifts. The friendly, soot-covered witch is also known to sweep every house she visits. To show their gratitude, families often leave a glass of wine and a plate of traditional food the night before her visit. And I'll bet the wine just happens to be one of Mom and Dad's favorites.
This is Tammy from St. Mary's, Idaho. Christmas means to me the sound of giggles when my children wake to find that Santa arrived, to the sweet smell of hot cocoa and fresh-baked cinnamon rolls while snuggled up enjoying the gift of giving, to hugging friends and family and cherishing the memories of a family no longer with us. The spirit of Christmas brings joy and kindness, forgiveness and acceptance. Christmas means a full heart.
So, if Christmas were a real business, would it be successful? Santa Claus is possibly one of the most powerful brand ambassadors that has ever lived. Does this mean Santa's business model is driven in its brand? If that's the case, and on the commonly agreed assumption that Christmas is a business in its entirety, what are the brand values that make Christmas so financially successful? The truth is, Santa and his gang can offer business leaders a great deal of know-how in the business world. Starting with the business's marketing, Father Christmas's branding model is built on worldwide collaboration in that everyone believes and trusts the brand, the promise of reward in the form of gifts and celebration, and the use of emotive marketing via songs and colors and smells and cliches and scenarios, all of which come together to stimulate family feelings, community, togetherness, joy, and nostalgia, among some others. The brand itself is the strongest driving part of Santa's business model. And if anything could imitate the above formula as successful, they would likely be the richest and most reputable company in the entire world. Brands that have tried to come close are the likes of McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Disney. Yet these come with shortcomings, mistakes, and elements that carry negative connotations, like sustainability, sourcing, sales, taxes, not to mention their ability to stay as relevant and innovative as Christmas. In terms of business operations, small and large firms around the world can learn several important pointers from Father Christmas. He treats his employees fairly, he has a diverse and equal workforce, each with an important role suited to their talents. Donner helps Santa navigate his delivery route, while Rudolph lights the way with his very shiny nose. Santa himself is the director of his company, has a job that was tailor-made for his likeness and character. It's been said that Santa's enthusiasm is infectious, and the reason why he has built such a loyal following over the years and across generations. He spends time getting to know his customers in his grotto, learning what they want for Christmas, and then goes the extra mile to see that their wishes are met. All the time accompanied by a holly ho ho ho. In doing this, Santa learns about his customer base, collects data on a regular basis, and engages operations and gifts based on said data. And as far as we can tell, Santa doesn't share any customer personal data with third parties. In addition, every year that Christmas happens is a new year with new data, which in turn means growth and evolution, as Santa and his elves have to keep up with a changing market, adapting and innovating each and every Christmas. They work together and collaborate, each department preparing all year round to deliver an excellent customer service with impeccable timing and precision. His wish list staff works closely with the customer service department to get the right gifts to the right people. On the topic of customer service, Christmas is built on several promises: that kids will get presents, that family will come together, that people can be good, that it will happen again next year, and the year after, and the year after, and so on. Businesses around the globe have to keep these promises, accommodate logistics and operations to meet the demand, and in doing so contribute to the overall success of the Christmas brand. Christmas breeds a 95% customer satisfaction rate and a customer retention rate that is just as successful. Pretty impressive. All in all, Christmas is one of the most successful business models that has ever been conceived, and all businesses should strive to imitate its values and methods. In terms of actually delivering gifts all in one night, there is a questionable logistics issue, but with everything else on the table, Santa's workshop and staff make a winning business model possible. With the real-life Christmas period ahead of us, and as markets are set to bring in the Christmas spirit, we wish you good business and a happy new yield. Nice play on words there.
Hi, this is Colleen Bush from Keizer, Oregon. Christmas. The light of the world stepped down into darkness in the midst of shepherds. He became in all ways like us, humbling himself to obedient death on a cross, rising to be seated at the Father's right hand so that all creation would confess Jesus as Lord. So in our actions this season, may we shine in our generosity, and in so doing hold out the word of life, sacrificing and serving to lift one another up. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to men on whom his favor rests.
I'm Molly McLaughlin, and I'm originally from a very small town in Maine called Emden, Maine, and now I've been a digital nomad for the past almost 4 years. And for me, Christmas is about family, it's about gratitude, ambiance, really some little bit of a magic, indulgence, giving, receiving, and ultimately a bit of reflection at the end of the day, preparing and leading us into the new year, looking to see, is my life going in the direction of joy, community, and peace, and really taking the time to be grateful for where it is and then be inspired for what's next.
All right. For those of you who are still dragging your feet and haven't finished your Christmas shopping, which I venture to say is most of you, myself included, here's a few top-selling gift ideas that may tickle your fancy, or at the very least, get you to open up your wallet. All right, the Drone X Pro is a tiny drone with an HD camera that lets you take breathtaking photos and videos. It's foldable, lightweight, and easy to carry. For the first time, ordinary people can capture crazy selfies and shots that were previously only possible with professional drones. Neck Relax is a state-of-the-art portable neck pain massager. This device helps to stimulate and relax muscles along your vertical spine. Feels better than a massage, actually. This allows you to get fast relief wherever you are. Neck Relax can be used from the comfort of your own home or office. This cutting-edge tech combines ultra technology with infrared heat and electro-stimulation. The Go Donut, for the person who works a lot with his cell phone or tablet. It's truly universal, so it's compatible with 99% of all mobile devices, even ones that haven't even been released yet. That's because Go Donut has built-in flexible grooves that fit everything from small phones to massive tablets. These grooves hold your device 6 different ways, giving you the best view possible no matter where you are and what you're doing. Once you've tried it, you'll never want to live without it again. Global, the revolutionary new toilet light with built-in air freshener, is actually flying off the shelves. If somebody is getting up to pee at night, help them get as much sleep as possible with the Global. It's a motion-activated light that automatically illuminates their toilet when they enter the room and then automatically turns off when they leave. Perfect for young children, too, who are afraid to go into the bathroom when it is dark. Not only does Global make nighttime bathroom trips fun without waking yourself or others, but its built-in replaceable air freshener leads you to a great smelling oasis, zapping nasty bathroom odors and keeping your bathroom smelling fresh 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. React, for every person who drives a car. During an emergency, every second matters. React is the patented multi-tool that guarantees you'll have access to the most essential roadside tools when you need them the most. In scenarios ranging from small frustrations to larger emergencies, it's nice to know that React will have your back in all of them. Includes 7 life-saving tools: strobing SOS signal, safety siren, a window breaker, a seatbelt cutter, a flashlight, phone charger, and a portable power bank. The only thing missing is some top ramen noodles. Makes a great gift for loved ones you want to keep safe. Here's what I want to get from my mom: TV Caster Max for the person who loves watching TV. If you've been paying for cable this year, you probably complain about the prices. In fact, over 20 million Americans canceled their cable subscriptions last year alone. TV Caster Max allows you to stream thousands of your favorite TV shows and movies from popular media providers in full HD, and it's 100% legal. All the benefits of cable, internet, and Wi-Fi on one free platform without any monthly commitments. All right. Peeps, for the person who wears glasses. Microfiber cloths are old school and time-consuming. This is the 2021 way of cleaning your glasses. Do you know someone who wears glasses? If so, chances are they're tired of cleaning their glasses all the time. Well, Peeps Carbon Clean with its carbon technology makes the glasses clear again in the twinkling of an eye and protects them with an innovative protective film against renewed soiling. This extends the life of the glasses and saves money because they don't have to buy new lenses so often, and we all know how expensive that can be. Moama Translator. This device lets you speak 43 languages at the touch of a button. This one's pretty cool for the person who wants to learn new languages. The Moama Translator is the ideal device for all holidaymakers, business travelers, and employees who frequently encounter language barriers. Difficulties caused by language barriers will soon be a thing of the past. Now, if this thing will interpret what my wife really means when she says something, I'll stand in line for it. And finally, Sleep Connection, for the person who wants to get a good night and a full night's sleep. Snoring is a real homewrecker for many Americans, and as we all know, loud snoring can sound like a freight train. The loud and awful noise can positively ruin your sleep, leading to bad moods, arguments, even resentment. Or if you're like me, I just reach over the top and tap my wife on the shoulder until she stops snoring. If you ask her, she's the one that taps me on the shoulder, not saying nothing. Thankfully, this new breakthrough device can help put an end to snoring. It uses intelligent technology to monitor for any indication of snoring. And if it detects any, it emits sensory feedback which stops the snoring dead in its tracks. So there you go, some last-minute Christmas ideas for you procrastinators.
My name is Lyndon Zeitz. I live in Keizer. Christmas has always been a special time, more for the little things that make up the season than any one big element. I still look forward to Christmas as much as I did when I was a kid living on Main Avenue in Keizer. Christmas is the aroma, Mother's pizza baking in the oven, not to be enjoyed until Christmas morning after the opening of gifts, the sounds of the season, Christmas carols, either sung by carolers, on the radio, or in every store. The glimmer of lights on the reflective wrapping of gifts under the tree, and then the morning when the number of gifts has somehow increased greatly overnight. Christmas is special when spent with the people you love, family and friends. When you celebrate Christmas away from home with friends, the holiday takes on a new meaning. Everyone comes to Christmas with their own cherished traditions, some of which you adopt. 'Tis the season of giving. I am more thrilled with what I can give rather than what I can receive. I have never returned a gift and don't make a list of what I want. I am happy with whatever someone takes the time to choose, wrap, and present. I don't think of what I get as a present. It's a gift, and I cherish it. I cherish the season. I cherish the people I love. Each year I tell people, may the joy of the season be yours all year long. And for me, it is.
Hello, Unleashed Tribe. I am so honored to have you as a loyal listener, and I'm very excited to tell you about the Business Edge radio app, now available on Apple and Android devices. You can catch up on past episodes, watch short videos of the Business Edge Minute, our 60-second show that gives you quick and easy tips on building a better business and living a better life. And you'll get access to bonus materials that are only available on the app. In fact, I have a nice little PDF bonus waiting for you there right now. Plus, you can email the show, call the show, connect with us on social, check out our website, and even make a nice fluffy omelet. No, you can't really do that. Just go to the iTunes Store or Google Play Store, and you can download the Business Edge Radio app so you can be one of the cool kids on your block. Business Edge Radio, the ultimate brainstorming session for your business and life. Now available in the App Store. Download it today. And if you don't, I'll come visit you on your day off. You are about to meet one of the most enthusiastic, happy, and committed people you will ever get a chance to know. My interview today is with who I call America's most likable mayor. Cathy Clark and her husband Kevin have made Keizer, Oregon their home since 1989. She's originally from LA and studied at UC Davis, where she earned her BS degree with a double major in biology and wildlife biology. She then earned her master's in biology from Kansas State University, and for 20 years she was a home educator for their 4 children and ran her own business as a math and science tutor and a consultant. Cathy has been a super active volunteer in the Keizer community since their children were young, teaching Sunday school and serving on the Keizer Indoor Park Board. She became involved in city government in the late 1990s and was then appointed to the Budget Committee, then was elected to City Council. Then in 2015, she was voted in as Keizer's 6th mayor. She currently works with leaders in the state capital of Salem, Oregon, as well as local county governments to carry out the work of the Mid-Willamette Homeless Initiative to improve services for people who are homeless in her community. And homeless is an issue that becomes front and center this time of year because of the holidays and also because of the dropping temperatures. I met Mayor Clark back in 2019 when I took a year off from running my own companies and became the president for a Class A affiliate of the world champion San Francisco Giants baseball team located in Keizer. You could always depend on the mayor, who had season tickets, to be there with their pom-poms on, rooting for the home team, win or lose. What better way to celebrate the season than with America's most likable mayor, Cathy Clark. Well, Mayor Clark, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mitch. It's great to be here with you and your audience today.
Well, Cathy, it's been quite a year for everyone in the country and around the world, the state of Oregon, and in your hometown of Keizer, Oregon. When we think of elected officials, we tend to think of like our president and senators and congressmen. But to me, the real work is done kind of on the local level, on a micro level, in cities and towns all across the country. That's where the secret sauce is developed and where the real magic happens. Your town, Keizer, is filled with small businesses. And most of them are individually owned and operated by people like you and I that are out there just trying to make an honest living. What has this year been like for your city?
This has been a tough year, and that's no secret to absolutely anybody who has been somewhat sentient since March of this year. We were surprised with and caught absolutely flat with a forced shutdown of our economy, of our businesses. So there was a scramble to figure out what's real, what's actually happening, and then a very quick pivot to how do I adapt? And that is where the businesses in Keizer really shine. They got a lot of assistance from the Keizer Chamber of Commerce. The leadership on the board and the executive director, Danielle Bethel, rallied very quickly to get good information to our businesses, to make sure that they knew what was going on, and then to support our businesses so they could figure it out and hopefully survive and thrive in the ever-changing landscape of the COVID-19 pandemic.
And it's not going to be different tomorrow or the next day. It's going to be quite a while before we get back to a semblance of what normalcy is. Do you agree with that? Even after we all get shots and business will never be the same. Small Business USA, Main Street USA is going to have to go through changes in the future.
They already have. There is no back to go back to. People have already pivoted their businesses. They have found new models that work for them. They have found some wins in the changes that the health requirements brought upon them. They have found some new opportunities and some new partnerships. With that, however, there have been some tremendous costs, especially to the businesses that didn't have a platform that could pivot very well or that got shut down hard. So we have the range from the entrepreneur that figured it out to the model that is still struggling to find their way in the pandemic world, and then what it's going to look like in the post-pandemic world. I don't think there's any question that we are going to be moving forward. There's very little that's going to go back to exactly the way it was. There are some things that we like about this new business environment, that we like about the collaboration, that we like about the Zooming and whatever platform you're using for virtual meetings. We're finding a lot of efficiencies and people able to work from home. The quality of life for people who have that option has been significantly increased.
And I see lots of businesses actually thriving more than they were pre-pandemic. And the sad part is there are a lot of businesses that just aren't going to make it or have already closed their doors. But the ones that are left have, like you said, they've pivoted, they've reinvented, they've innovated new products and services, and they are positioning themselves for tomorrow and for the next day once we're through this whole thing. Towns and volunteers are kind of synonymous with each other, especially local chambers and city governments. Depends on a lot of hands in the pot to help on all the committees and all the projects that kind of fills the need in the community. Right now, what have you seen in Keizer, Oregon that really gives you hope for the future?
Every day I find something to celebrate about what's happening in our community of Keizer. People have found ways to support one another emotionally, physically, spiritually. They have found ways to support our businesses, to pivot, to find either from gift cards or being intentional about how they shop, intentional about how they contract. And they are really looking to help each other out so that our landscape of business will not just survive, but find ways to thrive. In addition, a lot of things had changed in the Mid-Willamette Valley since the last really big economic crash in 2008. A lot of our economy had already pivoted to the traded sector and to manufacturing. Those jobs remained open. That was huge for our area to be able to recover in terms of employment far more quickly than the state. We went back to single-digit unemployment before the state did.
Very quickly.
In 2008, it was the other way around. We also have programs like the Career Technical Education Center. So we have high school students preparing themselves and being hired out quickly to manufacturing and similar traded sector jobs. That has only been good for our families and for our local economy to find a way forward. In addition, we had businesses that completely changed their products to become a personally protective equipment, a PPE center. And we have a hub now through SEDCOR, the Strategic Economic Development Corporation, where businesses that have begun providing and manufacturing, that's the innovation that makes the Mid-Willamette Valley, the Salem, Keizer, Yamhill, Polk, and Marion counties area so dynamic, and that we're going to have businesses that are going to make it through and families that are going to make it through on the plus side.
And those things you're talking about really are on the micro level. It's boots on the grounds, it's hands in the pot. Like you said, businesses helping businesses. We all have kind of jumped in and help our neighbors out to try to get through this tough time. And there's been a lot of people that have actually, like I said before, they are thriving now more than they ever have. You never would have expected it. And the sad part is it took something like this for them to say, wait, I really have to get down and make sure my business is operating as efficiently as possible. And that's something that we all challenged with every single day, right? How can we be as efficient with what we do and make sure I'm given the needs that my employees have, make sure I fulfill that, make sure I'm taking care of my customers, making sure that the little things, my website, my marketing collateral, all that stuff, a lot of that has had to get put on the back burner as we've had to deal with these other huge problems. Talk to me a little bit about the lost revenues that you've faced with the city of Keizer and what you guys plan on doing in the future.
So for our businesses, of course, the ones that were shut down, they lost a tremendous amount of revenue. Right out of the gate, the city of Keizer had been given some money by Marion County prior to the pandemic to use for economic development. We flipped that money around and got it out in micro grants to businesses in our community. We then partnered with Business Oregon for another grant program, getting money out the door to our businesses. We've also partnered through the CARES Act funds to get money out the door to our local nonprofits. The Salvation Army and St. Vincent de Paul have partnered with us to get money to families who have mortgage, rent, and utility needs so they can end the year even. And we wanted to make sure that we could make up that gap if they lost their employment, either hours or their jobs entirely due to the COVID shutdowns. So we've been trying to be a hub, working in partnership with our county partnership, state partnership, getting the federal funds in, which they did very quickly, and then working with our Chamber of Commerce to make sure that we be as collaborative as possible to get the funds, resources, whatever our businesses needed to them as fast as we could with as few strings attached.
And the good news is every small town across the country is doing the same kinds of things. Have you found that there are enough applicants to be able to give all the grants to?
We have more applicants than we have funds. We could definitely use more to get out the door. Absolutely. We've just been trying to turn it around as fast as we can to make sure that everybody who does need the money can get it. Part of the issue is around the color of the money, depending on where it came from. Was it local? We can turn it around quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Was it state? It has more strings. Was it federal? It has different strings. So we're trying to prepare those grant applications and then help applicants walk through it. The chamber has been great about helping applicants walk through it. I've had city councilors like Dan Kohler hand deliver applications to businesses saying, here, this is something I think you can apply for and get some money in your hands. And then our chamber started Keizer's Hungry, which was for our restaurants, an industry that was severely impacted by the shutdowns. Salem has the Salem Eats. So they've been advertising their outdoor dining, their takeout menus, their gift cards, anything they could do to keep themselves in business, in front of the consumer, and to provide new services that we really want in our community, and also to help us support our businesses going forward.
No, that's just so wonderful. When you think of giving, we tend to think of giving money to this cause or that cause, but the real need is in human capital, people giving their time to help others. What have you seen this year from your local businesses as far as people stepping up and supporting those around them that have been hit hard? What have you seen that's really unique and special to Keizer?
What's been special to Keizer is that the people who are hurting still want to find a way to give. They still want to be connected. And what I've seen is also a breakdown of silos where you might have had different industries that didn't traditionally work together, now are working together. And where I saw a huge payoff in terms of building relationships and the nonprofits and our service providers was the Mid-Willamette Valley Homeless Alliance, which spans Marion and Polk counties.
And that's something that's very near and dear to you. You spend a lot of effort and you're very passionate about helping the homeless, aren't you?
It is absolutely passionate. It is about saving lives and helping people thrive and finding their path forward. And with this two-county collaboration, we have been able to not only build relationships between service providers. When COVID hit, they all knew who to call. They could pick up the phone. United Way, I need this.
Right.
Arches, I need that. We've got to get some shelter going here. We need the hotel space. And boom, people were taking action quickly and lives were saved. And that is something that just warms my heart to know that we were able to make a significant, real difference in people surviving and thriving. Some of the people who were chronically homeless, because they were sheltered, because they were very vulnerable to COVID, they had the pre-existing conditions, are now living in permanent supportive housing.
Oh, that's just so fantastic.
They said yes to coming in and continuing their work forward. That just makes me so...
Makes it worthwhile, doesn't it?
Yes, those are the wins.
If someone's out there right now, and that's to say they don't necessarily have any money to give to a cause, what need can you say that exists not just in Keizer, but in every small town across the country? What need needs to be filled right now more than any other need? What can they do right now to get involved?
Pick up the phone, call somebody, stay in touch with people. Right now, people are feeling isolated.
Just people like you and I, just your neighbors, and yeah, I like it. I like it.
Family members, your neighbors, especially the elderly, the shut-in, the people that you know who have the pre-existing conditions and are fearful to interact. Go and buy some groceries for them if they need someone to run errands. But get them, make sure they're not isolated. The isolation has literally killed people across this country. We have got to make sure that we are not isolating anyone. Reach out. Talk to your neighbor across the fence. 6 feet apart. Do that, but across the fence. Yeah. Know the kids next door if they need someone to read a story with them because they're trying to navigate online school. Connect with people. You will make a huge difference.
One of the things I used to do pre this whole thing is I used to take a guitar and go into senior centers, and I would stop at the nurse's station and ask them who doesn't get any visitors. Who is in the world by themselves? And they would say room 19, room 58, room 65. And I would take my guitar with some little hard candies and I'd go around and visit people and sing them a couple of songs and talk to them about their childhood or whatever they wanted to talk about. Of course, now that's not really an option, but I like your idea of pick up the phone and call people that you know because we all are hurting. We all have these needs that aren't being met socially, and that's just a wonderful idea. Hey, Cathy, before you go, I want to find out what kind of traditions that you have, you and Kevin and your family. What do you have that's on Christmas Day that you have to have every single year? Give me a couple.
Well, one of them is our cinnamon rolls. So years ago...
Can I come over this year, please?
You bet we can wrap them up and have them for you. I made homemade cinnamon rolls. I started this tradition when I was in college. And it is not only carried forward, but now my married children, they do cinnamon rolls on Thanksgiving morning and on Christmas morning. It just fills the home with a wonderful aroma of cinnamon, and it just brings us around the table so we can spend time together.
I'm going to have to get that recipe from you, I have a feeling. Well, Mayor, if anyone can tackle the challenges that face our communities, it's you. And quoting a line from Patch Adams with the great Robin Williams, one could only hope that your enthusiasm would spread through the world like a brush fire. Mayor Cathy Clark, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule, and Merry Christmas to you and everybody else.
Thank you so much, Mitch. Merry Christmas to you and to all of your listeners, and a healthy, prosperous New Year.
Now, if you don't feel like getting off your butt right now and find a need in your community, then you're missing a gene. My biggest takeaway: giving is a mentality that can last year-round and not just reserved for Christmas. But since it is Christmas season, what better time to get involved than right now?
I'm Jeff from Seattle. For me, Christmas is that special time of year when I reflect on how blessed I've been to have such great relationships with my clients. I cherish my friends and family members, and Christmas is the perfect time to see them in whatever way is possible these days. Finally, Christmas is a celebration of the birth of Christ because he is, as they say, the reason for the season. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Hello, my name is Roger Meume. I was born and raised in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and now reside in Hayden, Colorado. What Christmas means to me is being able to take some of your personal time and to pass out homemade, handmade gifts and just to show everyone how much you really appreciate them instead of buying stuff at the store. So I encourage everyone to take your personal time and to just make something homemade and handmade and pass them out.
If you know anything about me, you know that I love my early mornings, and I really love a good cup of fresh roasted coffee. There's nothing better than getting started before the rest of the world with a good cup of joe. That's why I'm so excited to have Mountain Creek Coffee as a partner. The process is so simple. You order, they roast, they ship, you enjoy. They don't roast your beans until an order is placed, which guarantees the absolute freshest coffee that you can get. Check out their artisan dark roast, medium roast, or decaf beans at mtncreekcoffee.com, and when you put in the code EDGE at checkout, you will receive 20% off your first order. I prefer the dark roast because of its full body and bold flavor. You order, they roast, they ship, you enjoy. Log on to mtncreekcoffee.com and enter the code EDGE at checkout, and you will receive a 20% discount off your first order. Pretty cool stuff. Mountain Creek Coffee and Business Edge Radio, a partnership brewed out of the love of coffee. See what I did right there?
Do I have any weirdos out there? Can I get an amen? Glad to hear it. Here's a few weird gifts for that special someone on your list. Anyone can shop for normal gifts, but the true Christmas spirit is in giving items that people hadn't realized they wanted until they got them on Christmas morning. I'm famous for going up and down the aisles at stores and finding those perfect gifts that people go, "Oh, thanks, Dad," or "Thanks, honey." Our friends over at HuffPost Weird News have scoured the world for the weird gifts that will shock and delight the people on your gift list. And yes, some people really do want a phone shaped like a banana. Thanks for asking. Beardaments. What good is having a bushy beard if you can't dress it up during the holidays? It's a rhetorical question. I can't actually hear you. Beardaments are mini ornaments designed to fit onto one's whiskers. Don't be surprised if your nearsighted friends just think that you had a messy meal. Until they get up close, of course. For extra sparkle, you can get a version that lights up your face. This ugly sweater turns the holiday from Christmas to T-Rexmas, a celebration you never knew you needed until this second. You're bound to get lots of attention in this sweater, but be careful when you eat, because that dinosaur's head is likely to get covered in all sorts of food stains by night's end. Want a lawn display that looks good all year round? Well, while you wait for that one, you can always get this giant inflatable of Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. Trust me, it'll be worth it when you see the expression on people's faces. Hopefully one of your neighbors has an inflatable buffalo wing. Want to get your cat more interested in wine? Yeah, don't we all? A first step might be this bottle opener shaped like a mouse. Or not. Who said keeping your nose warm had to be stylish? Obviously, it doesn't, as this spider-shaped nose warmer proves. Of course, if your biggest worry is a cold nose, fashion might not be your biggest concern. Why put a star on a tree when you can have a Death Star? This replica tree topper is a perfect way to celebrate the holidays while looking out for rebel hordes. Or if you come to my house, you'll find a bear on top of our tree. Nobody in the family understands the significance, so we just let Mom keep putting it up year after year after year. Alice Cooper probably fits in better with Halloween than Christmas, but this collectible figurine of the heavy metal legend is perfect for the person whose favorite time of year is when school's out. Somewhere, there are people suffering silently because they have some booze, but their hands aren't free. Now, that's a problem all the time, isn't it? Well, this belt buckle folds out to hold a can of hard iced tea, hard liquor, beer, or whatever you want. If you wear your t-shirt over this, you're going to look as if you have the wildest and weirdest looking pot belly. Just saying. Trying to figure out a way to make your family Christmas party or family time a little more exciting? Want to impress everyone you know with your extensive knowledge of holiday-related things? Well, whatever the case, you can make any get-together merrier with this set of Christmas trivia questions and answers. It challenges your knowledge of Christmas movies and songs and folklore to see how much you really know about this magical time of year. Some are easy, some are hard, but they're all fun. So here they go. Which Christmas beverage is also called milk punch? Eggnog. What did the other reindeer not let Rudolph do because of his shiny red nose? Join in any reindeer games.
How many ghosts show up in A Christmas Carol? 4. The movie Miracle on 34th Street is based on a real-life department store. Which one? Macy's. What are the 2 other most popular names for Santa Claus? Kris Kringle and Saint Nick. Elvis isn't going to have a white Christmas because he's going to have a blue Christmas. What do people traditionally put on top of a Christmas tree? You're right, an angel, except in our house. In Home Alone, where are the McAllisters going on vacation when they leave Kevin behind? Paris. In the classic Christmas movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinch was described with 3 words. What are they? Stink, stank, stunk. In which modern-day country was St. Nicholas born in? Turkey. In the movie It's a Wonderful Life, what happens every time a bell rings? An angel gets its wings. Which Hollywood actor played 6 different roles in Polar Express? Tom Hanks. In Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, what was the first name of Scrooge? Yep, Ebenezer. Which country did eggnog come from? England. What was Ralphie's little brother's name in the movie A Christmas Story? Randy. Which one of Santa's reindeer has the same name as another holiday mascot? Give you a couple extra seconds on this one. How about Cupid? Which country started the tradition of putting up a Christmas tree? Germany. In the song Winter Wonderland, what do we call the snowman? Parson Brown. In the movie Elf, what was the first rule of the Code of Elves? Treat every day like Christmas. And that's a rule I think we should live by every day, don't you? What was the highest grossing Christmas movie of all time? Home Alone. What was the real name of the character Tim Allen plays in The Santa Claus? Scott Calvin, same initials, SC. How many gifts in total were given in the 12 Days of Christmas song? Oh, wrong. 364. In the movie A Christmas Story, what was the name of the neighbors whose dog ate the Christmas turkey? The Bumpuses. What is the name of George Bailey's guardian angel in It's a Wonderful Life? Clarence Oddbody. What was the first company to use Santa Claus in advertising? Coca-Cola. Well, how did you do? I hope you had fun reminiscing just a little bit, and I hope you enjoyed our Christmas 2020 end of the year show. In closing, I want to tell each one of you how much I appreciate you. And I hope that you have the absolute best holiday season that you've ever had. And don't forget to ask yourself, what can I do today to make someone else's life better? Slow down this holiday season, enjoy each moment that presents itself to you, and try to realize how truly fortunate you are this year. Each moment you have, with a kid, with a parent, with a friend, make sure that you live in that moment to the best of your ability so that there's no regrets. The definition of faith is the assurance of things we hope for but have not yet received. Have faith that the world will get through this together, and have faith that this Christmas will be the best ever. My parting shots today are this. No man is a failure who has friends, from It's a Wonderful Life. And one of the most glorious messes in the world is the mess created in the living room on Christmas Day. Don't clean it up too quickly. Andy Rooney. Until next time, this is Mitch Graff, wishing you and your family a safe and love-filled Christmas, and reminding you to live every day like it's a Saturday, and to live with passion. I'll catch you later.
Thanks for hanging out with Business Edge Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to subscribe, rate, and review. Then hop on over to www.mitchgraff.com to get even more meat and potatoes. We also invite you to follow the show at facebook.com/Unleashed Tribe. The most valuable asset that any of us has is our time. And we thank you for choosing to spend some of your precious time with us.